Hi, I'm Ella Neptune, and this is episode 4 of the Neptune Diaries. So, today I wanted to talk about rejection. Rejection in many aspects, in dating, career wise, in jobs and internships, by people that you care about, and maybe friends and family. I don't know, just feeling general rejection by the world, I suppose. We'll start off with dating. So, I went on a date with a guy a couple of months ago, and I went into it thinking, I like, this guy is cute, but I don't really want to see him that much. I'm not that interested or that excited. But I was like, you know what, we've been talking for a little while now. I think it will be good for me to go see him. I see him, I get there, and he's literally a Disney prince, and he is everything that I would be looking for in a potential boyfriend. There are no red flags. He's such a gentleman. He's so sweet. Everything about him felt right for me. And we immediately hit it off. We had so many things in common to talk about. Kind of work in similar sectors, kind of. As my part-time job, I was doing the same thing that he does as his full-time job. So we had so much to talk about. And even our hobbies, they really intersected. I love reading, so he said, let's go into this bookshop. I said, sure. And he bought me a book that was quite expensive as well, the hardback cover version. And without me even asking, or I wasn't expecting it at all, he was just so sweet, great guy. And I thought it was all going well, just because the conversation flowed, and you can kind of get a sense when things are going well on a date. You can kind of get a sense. I would think I have a good sense, but I don't really know at this point now. Anyway, I got home and I texted him and I said, thank you so much for this date. It was incredible. Would you like to meet again? He didn't reply for a while, over an hour. So I was like, what's happened? He then said to me, yeah, actually, this isn't what I'm looking for. I'm sorry. It was really nice spending the day with you, because we ended up spending the whole day together, even though it was only meant to be an hour coffee date or whatever. We ended up spending the whole day together. He bought me lunch, and it was really, really sweet. But it was devastating because I was like, oh, first of all, it took me a really long time to find somebody who I thought I would like, and then I found him. And then he was like, actually, no, I don't like you. And it left me spiraling. I was honestly spiraling after the date for a while, because I was like, why would you get me a book, buy me lunch, spend the whole day with me, be such a gentleman, such a good guy? There must be something more here that I'm missing. What did I do to make him not want me? Why did he reject me? And it ultimately led back to my looks. And even though I met him on a dating app, and on my dating profile I had different photos of me, recent photos of me, ones with full body photos and everything, still I couldn't help myself from thinking it's because of my body, it's because of the way I looked, and he just wasn't attracted to that. And that got me, that hurt, because you're there man, that's something I can't change about myself. I can't change the way I look. Already I'm quite insecure about myself and the way I look, and the way I present, especially being a black girl in a country that's not predominantly black. It can feel quite difficult sometimes. And this leads back to my point about feeling rejected by just society and the world in general. We'll get to that though. I fully accept that I'm not conventionally attractive. I know I'm not. And he was really fine, a really attractive guy. It almost just confirms my fears type of thing. I was very apprehensive to get into dating because I always felt like I'm not pretty enough yet. I need to have my glow up. I need to lose a lot of weight. And then I can go into the dating world and maybe potentially meet people. Because I'm just thinking, well, the guy I met in January, if I met him in July, maybe he would have wanted me then. Because maybe I would have been, slightly skinnier, lost a bit of weight. Then maybe he probably would have wanted me. And I hate those toxic thoughts, but that's what goes through my mind, and I can't lie about it. That's the truth. That's where my mind goes. Knowing you're not conventionally attractive, I know I'm not. I know I'm not the prettiest girl. I know that. It is what it is. I've been given what I've been given. There's not that much I can do to fix that or change that. But it's just so painful. Almost it felt like it was being dangled in front of me, and then it was just taken. The idea of having a boyfriend who's great, attractive, a good guy, and was so similar to me, the idea of that was dangled in front of me and then just snatched. Maybe I'm just being pathetic. It's one date, like it's really not the end of the world, but just whenever I really like a person, in my mind I'm like, I'll never meet a person like this again. I do everything I can to keep them, because I'm like, I'm never going to meet a person this great again. And then I always prove myself wrong by meeting someone else who is equally great or better, but it's complicated trying to unlearn that mindset of you are ugly, so take what you're given. And I try to up my self-worth by doing things for myself, like photography, crochet, making music, painting. Like, I have a bunch of hobbies, and I try to make myself feel better with all those hobbies, but to be honest with you, doesn't address the actual issue. It was really painful going through that. It's not my first rejection in dating either. I've been rejected multiple times by multiple guys, and guys tend to have the idea that dating is really easy for girls. All you have to do is turn up, and it's easy for girls. But for a lot of us, that's not actually our experience, and it's hard because even when I look at my friends, my friendship group around me, they don't tend to be rejected by guys. They are the ones doing the rejecting. And that's what I hear as well in media, in society generally. It's always the girls doing the rejecting and not the ones being rejected. But in my situations, multiple of them, I have always been the one that's been rejected. It's caused me to have quite low self-esteem, especially because I've never had a boyfriend before. I've never been in a relationship before. And the fact that I'm 20 and I haven't yet, but a lot of my peers have, or at least have had people who have been interested in them enough that they tried to pursue my peers. I have not had that before. It also brings up the topic of self-worth, and now that has affected my self-worth and how I view myself, to the point where when that rejection happened, immediately what I did the next day, went out for a run. The day after that, I went for a run again. The day after that, I went for a run again. For a week straight, I went for a run every single day. I barely ate any food. Not very good behaviors, I'm very aware, but it was my way of coping with it, I suppose. But even up until now, I'm already on a weight loss journey, because I am not the skinniest girl, but I always feel like my weight is something that's stops me from being attractive to people. I'm working on myself as much as I can in every aspect. That why are people not attracted to me? What am I doing wrong? And it's really difficult when there are people who are attracted to the people around you, and you see your friends in relationships, and you just have not experienced that feeling. I mean, after that date in January, I have sworn off dating apps, just because I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to experience really liking someone and then they reject me, because that hurts a lot. It really does. Now, moving on to university, I feel like, because I'm in my third year, my final year, and I'm hopefully graduating this summer, maybe this winter, depending on how exams go. I've been applying to internships and different companies and jobs and things, and I've been rejected from all of them so far. And I'm really trying my best. And it's just rejections like that really tear into your self-esteem, because you feel like, what am I doing wrong? Or why am I not good enough? And it's really hard. It's really hard because uni's ending soon and I have to figure out something, but no matter what I apply to, it's like, no, it feels like nobody wants me. I think that's the theme, and that's what it feels like. It feels like nobody wants me. And then when people say to me, you need to have higher self-esteem, you need to believe in yourself more, it's really hard when outside influences are telling you you're not good enough, to have that self-esteem. I think it's really hard to build that back up, and it makes you feel like you're unworthy of anything good, to be honest. That's where I'm at right now. I feel very unworthy of love. I feel unworthy of a good job. I feel like I'm not wanted by this society either, because as a black woman, it's really tough sometimes navigating just this world, being a black woman, but specifically this country. Racism isn't really overt, but you can tell that like you are different from the average person and people treat you differently because of that. And I mean, that's okay, but it does make things quite challenging. Also, I make music, and I put out a song recently that did quite well. It got added to a very big Spotify playlist, and a record label reached out to me, a big record label, and I was very excited. A representative from there reached out to me and said, I really like what I'm hearing. Can I please like meet with you? And I replied like the next day saying, yes, like let's meet. And she even said to me, can we meet next week? And I said, yeah, sure. What days are you free? These are the days I'm free. She just didn't respond, didn't get back to me at all. And why would you reach out to me and ask to meet with me and then just disappear? Like, that also felt like a carrot dangled in front of me. Like, it was not a carrot, but it felt like they were like giving me a glimpse of something really exciting, and then it was just snatched away from me. And that's just how things feel at the moment. I got an email from a record label, great, they don't respond. I got on a date with a great guy, amazing. Oh, he doesn't like me. I'm reaching out to an old friend who I really miss because I saw something that reminded me of them. Oh, they don't reply. Get something dangled in front of you and you're like, oh, something good, finally. And then, it just adds to your misery. That type of rejection is one that I don't even understand. Like, what changed between you hitting send on that email and like within 24 hours you decide now you don't want anything to do with me? What changed? I really don't know. It just hurts more than anything. It hurts and it just doesn't feel good. There's also like being rejected by friends and family. Like, I reached out to a few old friends recently just because I wanted to like talk to them again because I missed them. Straight up didn't reply. I won't lie, one of the old friends was someone I used to have a thing with, and it didn't really end on good terms with him, but it was his fault. It wasn't my fault. Even then, I tried to reconcile, and I wanted to like be like, oh, let's see how he's doing, and he just didn't respond. Basically, I'm dealing with rejection from a lot of different directions right now. I feel like in my real life, I'm dealing with all of this rejection from all these different sources, and then I hop online, I hop on like Twitter or TikTok, and I also see the way that the world treats black women, and that doesn't help my self-esteem at all. I'm basically in a place where my self-esteem is just really low, because of all these outside influences. Being desirable isn't like a really important thing, but I think it's the combination of all these different things that are happening to me. It's the combination of them that make it hurt. I have very high functioning depression, so I still do the things that need to be done, But then there'll be days where I'm just in my bed all day and ruminating, thinking of all these things that are just not going right. And what sucks is that I'm only 20. Like, I still have so much of life ahead of me, and already at this point I feel very, very hopeless for the future and what's going to happen in the future. I mean, coming of age is already difficult because you start to see what the real world is like. You start to see all the problems with it, and the problems start to impact you as a person, because when you're a child, the societal problems impact you, but you're not necessarily aware of it. But as an adult now, it's like, oh, okay, this cost of living crisis is really affecting me. Racism is really affecting me. Trying to find a partner is really affecting me. Societal expectations are really affecting me. It starts feeling like all the problems in the world are on your back, or they're constantly in your mind. And it's ridiculous. I know it sounds stupid, but I just don't have hope for the future with the way technology is and the way the world is going. The division, the war, the genocide, there's so much that is really just like tough, and it's all out of my control. I can't do anything about it. I mean, donate here and there, try voting, but I'm just one person, and this is like big societal issues. How could I forget climate change as well? Like, and then there's like the threat of AI taking people's jobs and stuff. Just, it's a lot. It's a lot to come into as you grow up, and you feel very like out of control, like you can't control it. But rejection is soul crushing. It's really hard. It's really difficult to like pick yourself back up after being rejected, especially because all these rejections I've spoken about have been like persistent. Like, it's not just like a one-time thing. It's like, oh, the past couple of years type thing. I guess you learn to live with it. The way that I deal with it is by working out a lot and trying to eat healthier, because I'm trying to control the things I can change. Like my weight, I can kind of control that. I mean, that's a whole other topic for another video, but I just don't understand how you can put people in a world that is inherently unfair and unjust, and then be surprised when they're depressed and they're not coping well with it. It's hard, and I don't really know what to do or where to go. This video has just been a bit of a rant, hasn't it? I think I'll stop my rant now. This is going to be really fun to edit, I think. For anyone else who's feeling rejected and suffering from rejection, you are not alone in that feeling. It's not just you. I'm going through it too, and I'm sure there's many, many other people who are. We just have to keep going. We have to stay strong for the people who love us. Because if it wasn't for them, would have dropped out of uni, would have probably been dead. And yeah. Oh, this video is so terrible. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Hope you are all well. If you're watching this video, probably not. The world's a weird place, man. I'm going now. Goodbye.